Alright, hey everyone, it's me Barky, and I'm here with another video for Rimworld Beta 18, and this is another Is It Worth It video, which is a series of videos that I do on drugs in Rimworld, and I usually push one out whenever a new update comes out and adds a new drug in, which is what exactly has happened. So we have the Psychoid Pico over here, and this is a new awesome drug added in the latest update, which gives you a few interesting things. It's made using psychoid plants and psychoid leaves at a crafting spot. It takes 7 work to make. Now, the most interesting thing about this drug is that it seems to be a happy medium between no drug use and then yayo and flake. So for most people, you probably don't touch drugs. In fact, I did a little questionnaire about 7-8 months ago, and I found out that most people don't actually use drugs actively in Rimworld, except for maybe Luciferium on a colonist that's like gonna die anyways, or I'm comfortable with this person dying, so I'll just give him a little bit of Luciferium, just sort of up the ante a little bit. So it's really interesting that this was added in, because I think Tynan almost added this in as a response to that, because he knows that many people don't use drugs actively in Rimworld. I'm starting to sound like a complete and utter drug addict, but you guys know what I mean. So this is Psychoid Pico. Let's take a look at some of these stats that come with it. So addictiveness is at 2%, although just keep in mind that this can only happen if your tolerance is above 10%, so few uses of this won't affect you at all, and there's no chance you'll be addicted to it. A fragrant tea which can be drank to induce a weak euphoric effect, very easy to produce, but be wary of addiction. So there we go. Is this high or not? I mean, not really. This is, I'll get to this later. This is very low for what it seems as a stat by itself, but yeah, we'll talk about it a bit later. So the rest of this doesn't matter very much. Don't leave it outside. Deterioration rate is very high, and it doesn't have much HP. The joy you get is 40%, which is huge. That is a big amount of joy that you get from this, especially since you can use this multiple times in a day, and I'll show you exactly how I've been doing it up until now. The market value is at 14, which gives you about a 40% increase on its worth, because a psychoid leaf is about 2 silver, I think. So this is 14, and it takes 4 of them, so it's 8. That's about 50 to 60% income, raw profit that you make from doing this. Whatever, take out the work, whatever you make to work it, and that's pretty good. Pain is at 90%, rest 10%, and then tiredness 90%. Very good. This is really strong. The stats that you get from the Psychoid Pico T thing, I think that's how you say the name, is incredibly high for what it is. And then, as I said, you can make it at a crafting spot for 7 work. So you guys can do that. In terms of is it worth it, I'm going to be answering 2 questions, and that is it worth producing this, and is it worth selling it? And then the other one is it worth using it, like actively using it so that your colonists will reap the benefits of being high on drugs. So the research and the materials that you need to actually make this are relatively simple. In research, you get psychoid brewing. You can do this from the start. I don't know how balanced that is, but you can do this from the start, and it only takes 400. For tribal people, this is so easy to get, and it is so strong. And then obviously you need psychoid plants, and that is something you can grow from the beginning of the game. And from now on, I really recommend that you do grow it from the beginning of the game, and it takes about 18 days to grow fully, 18 days from the start. So you need 20-day growing time at least, which for most people, that's like, I would wager that's about 70 to 80% of all Rimworld colonies have above that, maybe even more than that, I don't know. But after that, you can start making your own Psychoid Pico and selling it. And the fact that you can make it at a crafting spot and you don't need a drug lab to do it is incredibly good, because it means that you don't need components. So if you're playing tribal, this is absolutely amazing. Like, this is incredibly strong. So I've gone ahead and set up a few profiles for people. We've got Pico once a day, twice a day, thrice a day, and then Crazy, which is at 6 times. We are about 8 days into this colony now. So as you can see, I just dev moded everything in just to make it look nice. But we can take a look at Akbar's over here. Actually, his has already run out. Unfortunately, this only lasts about 6 hours. Check me. No. Okay. Let me get Caden. So Caden is high on Psychoid Pico. He's been taking it 3 times a day for 7 days. No major tolerance here at all, which is great. You do get a nice little buff, which is about 12 to your mood, which is great. That's incredibly strong. Because if you think about it, 12 to your mood is huge. In fact, that's sort of like a game changer almost, because in Beta 18 you now get these work motivations. You get like inspirations and stuff like that. So if you keep your mood up, there's a chance that you'll get a higher work rate, or they'll walk fast, or whatever the other inspirations are. Let's take a look at them quickly. You can get any of these, which is crazy. This work frenzy is absolutely amazing. These 2 are great. So that's really nice. Not only that, but if you can suddenly take it, to maybe counteract the effects of seeing like a body on the floor or something like that, or you know, the worst of all, not having a table. Damn it, remote! But yeah, it's great. So plus 12 sort of mitigates a lot of that. Not only that, but this is the first drug that I've seen that you can almost use several times a day and not have to worry about the effects too much. So for example, if you get a wanderer joining, like this poor man over here, a crash pod landing, and you find out, oh, they're addicted to Psychite, and you can see the Psychite addiction on their needs tab, you can actually supplement it with Psychoid Pico. That's how good this is. So if you have someone addicted to Flake or Yayo, and obviously you know if you've messed around with Flake, it is highly addictive, very easy to get addicted to. Or like this could happen, you know, no, screw you. We want our drugs to ourselves. But you can actually satiate it using Psychoid Pico, which is amazing. You don't need to worry about it too much, and this is very easy to make. As I said, it's very easy to massively produce this and use it several times a day. So I do have a few people using it 6 times a day. Let's take a look at Soul over here. Take a look at Soul. He's been using it 6 times a day for 8 days, and you can see his tolerance is at 6. His effect multiplier is at 65%, and you can see Psychite tolerance at the top there. That's very interesting. This, as I said though, you can use this multiple times a day, and I almost recommend it. I told them to take a bit of it into their inventory so they can sort of walk around, but they're all just chilling around the drugs here. This is the sign of a drug addict, just walking around the drugs over here. But so the effects that you get from using it, the biggest one is definitely the joy tab. So you'll see on the colonists who have been using it a lot, you'll see that joy is always full. It is always full. The Soul over here even has a tolerance to chemical joy. You can get rid of this wooden hoopstone ring that I have over here, and you don't need any other joy things if you can supplement it with Psychoid Pico. Do I recommend doing that? Absolutely not. But it is something very interesting to actually watch it unfold. It's really, really funny, actually. Like, you don't need to do anything. Your people can just sort of do drugs all day and night. So to answer the 2 questions, and I'll make this video too much longer than it needs to be. Is it worth using this actively? Absolutely. This is the strongest drug that I've seen in RimWorld by far. This outranks everything, including Luciferium in my mind, for the best drug in RimWorld. It's incredibly strong, gets your joy up very quickly by 40%, and you can also use it without having to worry about being addicted, and you can use it actively. Even if you are addicted, Psychoid leaves are very easy to get and very cheap. Each of these is very, very cheap, which is great. Is it worth selling? Yes, again. So you get a big upmark on your profit that you get from making one of these. Psychoid leaves are not hard to come by, and they're not hard to grow at all. I do have a massive one though, this is just for show. But you can make, you know, an 8x8 room for growing, and you could sell this en masse. It's awesome. So yeah, I hope that answers the questions. If you don't know, if you haven't seen the rest of my Is It Worth It videos, go and check them out. There's a playlist for all of them, so yeah, feel free. But anyways, have an amazing day, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye. Hey you! Thanks so much for making it to the end of my video. I really, really appreciate it. Editing videos is both my hobby and my passion, and with that in mind, I've decided to open up a Patreon if you'd like to support me besides in the amazing ways that my subscribers already usually do. I've got loads of perks and benefits, including having your own personally custom-made colonist, being one of my default colonists in the mod showcases, special roles on Discord, joining me while I stream, monthly Q&As and podcasts. I've got it all. Come take a look. All support is always appreciated, monetarily or not. If you're a subscriber, then be sure to hit the little bell over here to always be up to date with videos I push out, and head over to the Discord if you ever want to have a deep and meaningful chat with me. And last but not least, I hope you're having an amazing day.